Happy New Year, everyone, and it's good to be back on the channel. Got friend of the channel, but doing big things tonight. We have Nathan Goddard McCarthy straight out of Barbados. But we're not only just streaming on my channel, we're also streaming on his channel, at Nate Sports Talk. So make sure you go over there and subscribe as well. And Nathan, it's good to have you back on the channel. It's good to be in conversation with you. And how's it going?
Well, it's going well. Happy New Year to you and everyone at Sports.tech. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Happy New Year to you. It's always good to get a live show going on. Hopefully, people come through tonight. Lots to talk about. I was just watching here, just seeing the Ashes going on. We'll talk a little bit about Ashes as well, because Barbados is big in the Ashes. If we go to
Yeah.
Jacob Bethell for sure, we might as well touch on it. I think the weather all just got out here for Australia, so they still require what's the target 160. 2 for 71, but Jacob Bethell, a Barbadian guy coming out of your ends there, scoring a century, first class century for him, right? Or last night too,
Yeah,
right? He's
first
never
class
scored
century.
a first class century, right? Yeah.
Funny enough, I think he did it in the ODIs as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's good to see him. I mean, I guess he left Barbados when he was much younger to go to
Yeah,
England,
but I
right?
knew the
Yeah.
name because I used to play cricket
Yeah.
back in those days. So Jacob Bethel, but he was shorter, much shorter.
Yeah.
But from early on, the technique was incredible for such a youngster to be playing such strokes and with such
Yeah.
composure. Yeah. So he would have played with a few of my friends in the Barbados under 15 squad. Matthew Ford, who is now part
Yeah.
of the West Indies, and Seth Agar. Yeah, that's a few names.
Yeah, no, I mean he's good. He's very stylish. I like him a lot. He's going to be at the T20 World Cup too. I think he's in
Yeah,
their
of
squad
course.
as well.
Yeah.
So he special. I think last night when I was listening to the cricket there, I think Kerry O'Keefe from Cricket Australia, the commentator was saying that he got a letter recommendation from Sir Garfield Sobers and Brian Lara to go to that cricket
Yeah, the
academy there
boarding
in
school.
England.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So too bad he's
Fun
not playing for the West Indies.
story as well this time.
Yeah. I mean, two Bajans in the Ashes, obviously Joffre, but he also got injured again. Super talented guy. But we'll see. All right, we'll touch on some cricket later, but I think we should talk about some football. I don't know your thoughts on the football. I think we titled it Amorim is out, but Manchester United played today. What's your sense of that before we get into the whole debacle of the
Mhm.
club? Yeah.
I think the manager he has no left,
Yeah.
so you can't expect in the first few games for everything to change magically. Players still have to get back accustomed to playing a four at the back. I was glad to see that today that we didn't stick to the five at the back and we're so
Right.
defensive. Like actually was a good performance. Like, if you ignore the result and watch how we played, the attacking was way better. And then even the subs when he brought on Shea Lacey and Kobe and Xerxes, it was good to see that we were attacking minded instead of sitting back all the time.
No, I agree with you. I was talking to a friend of mine too, and there was moments in that game I thought this looked like an old school United type of setup. I mean, clearly not the kind of wingers you wanted. There's some learning that you needed there. I think Dorgu there on wasn't quite playing the wing role right
Exactly.
way, but you can't really complain. The kid is just trying to get into some cricket, I guess, and but not cricket. Sorry, into football. I got cricket on my mind. But
Yeah.
there's a moment there where he and Shaw was on the same line, and you don't really want that from your wingers. He wasn't coming in, or he wasn't hugging the touch line the way they would say. But eventually found a way, and I mean, it was good to see Sesko scoring some goals, and not
Yes.
only scoring goals, getting chances
That's it.
to score goals. Yeah,
Exactly, because I think our strikers over a long period of time were starving. If you look at Erasmus Hoyland last season, yes, he missed a lot of chances, but a lot of our attacking play it goes down the wing, cycles back around to the next wing, and we don't even send in crosses when the strikers are on, and then when they're subbing, we send in crosses. Is a lot of
right.
confusion.
Yeah. No,
And
yeah. Go ahead.
a problem I had with Amorim over his whole tenure was he was playing a lot of players out of their positions. I would say that they were comfortable in.
Mm,
So Dalo is a traditional right back. Mazraoui a traditional right back. Dogu can play right wing back, but it was like you were switching him to the left, switching him to the right. Then you had Dogo getting the ball more than some of the attacking players. It didn't make any sense to me. It wasn't no cohesion. I honestly could not understand what he was trying to do.
So I take it you're kind of happy that they got rid of him, or
Yeah,
the timing is wrong.
I actually think they should have gotten rid of him after he lost the cup final against Hotspurs. There's no way a manager. I think he got the job when we were in like 8th place, and
Yeah.
4 points off the top. He brought us down to 15th, lowered the standards. Manchester United fans thinking that that team is a 15th place side. Impossible. That side, with the potential and the attackers that we have in there, that side is a top 6 side at the least.
Right.
I think in a season where a lot of teams are struggling now, we could have even been challenging for top 3 because Liverpool fell off from last season. Man City not at their best, no picking up. But I think he just lowered the standards so much that Man U fans think that we could not do better. But I think he should have gone in the summer and brought in someone new.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, the idea that he came in, when we look at the win percentage, it's probably one of the worst we've seen in the modern era. It's what, 30-something% overall, 31 in the Premier League.
It's ridiculous. Even Ole wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
That is
I mean, I think Solskjær was good for me in the sense of the kind of football he played. At least it was a bit.
Yeah, it's free flowing and attacking.
Yeah. But I'm not quite sure why they persisted this long. I mean, I don't think he's a bad coach. I think there's a lot of revisionist stuff that might happen. I think you get the guy. He was doing well at Sporting. He had a particular style, and he likes to play that way. 3 at the back. He wants he's not gonna compromise. And you went out and you got him. And I think my issue is, and this is the problem I have with the club, is that yes, you've now hired the Ineos group comes in. They decided to switch the way in which they would operate. They took over football operations. They've been doing some decent stuff, the remodeling of Carrington. It looks like a world-class facility, but they also did some bad stuff like firing dinner ladies and all that stuff. But you took over the football operation and you went after a guy that you fired before you even really started the job in Dan Ashworth. It's now clear, all of the reports coming out, that Jason Wilcox wasn't necessarily on board with getting Rúben Amorim, and it was more of a Barada pick. Whatever they're going. A couple months ago or weeks ago, Jim Ratcliffe is saying you can't judge him until he gets 3 years, which is almost like a curse. And so you get a guy in that plays in a particular way, stubborn. The moment he decides to change is the moment I think he's over, right? I don't. So I'm wondering how much blame should I put on Amorim, and I want to get to that too. But the question is, like, if you hire this guy to play a particular way, you have to support him at least with the kind of players that he needs for his system. Your take on that?
Yeah, it's a bit confusing because from the youth level up, there has to be one way that your club plays. So it was a bit confusing that we went to wing backs when Manchester United was never a side that had wing backs. It's always 4 at the back or 4-4-2. Counter-attacking, good going forward, flying wingers. It was so confusing to see. And then if you're going to play this way, knowing that we would have less competitions as well, I don't see why he got rid of Rashford and Garnacho at the same time, because then you have no wingers other than Mbemo and Ahmad, and then you lost into AFCON. It's a lot of poor planning, in my opinion, and I don't think all the blame should go on Amorim, because I don't believe Jason Wilcox wanted a 3 at the back coach.
Yeah,
I don't get that idea, so I don't understand why would you hire him with the idea that you're going to give him control and give him his signings, and then you only give him a few, and when he starts to speak out in the public, then get vexed at him. Because if he didn't speak out, I don't think he would have been sacked. I think they would have given him the season and probably part ways in the summer, but because of how he spoke out against them, I think that's the reason why they sacked him. And I would say, let me see how to put it. If Amorim, I lost my thought. It was right there. If Amorim just wasn't so stubborn and could have shifted he was doing it, shifted the 4-4-2 a 4 at the back and like introduce different players.
Or
I think
4-2-3-1 or something. Yeah.
and just like build for the moment and let the team gel for a little bit and then try to go back to your stuff when you have more players or more freedom when the others come back from AFCON. It would have been well off. Oh, that's what I was trying to remember. Ineos probably didn't want to sack him because it looks bad on them, bringing a manager and then not even 2 years in, you sack him again.
Right.
It just shows that like what was the forward planning, what was the forward thinking. It reflects bad on them if you sack him too early. So
yeah. No, I agree. I think it reflects massively on them, and I think this is two big mistakes they've made. So one, they kept Ten Hag, they didn't believe in him, right? But then they turned around and they gave him money, and all while trying to get a new coach. They eventually sack him, and you get this guy who's the hottest thing in the market. People talking about he could have been the guy heir apparent to Pep Guardiola in City, and then you kind of half back him. Doesn't get any signings really in the first January. Gets Dorgu. Then in the summer he gets some players, but you don't really set him up to do the things he wanted to do, because clearly by the time we got to the end of the season last year, right, when you think about it, he's done with Onana. Right, he dropped him a couple of times.
That's another strange thing, because look at it this way as well. How does that go with players looking at that? Bought someone and then you just completely dispose of them. I just don't understand. You buy Onana for like I think 40-something million. He had a great season with Inter Milan, and then I understand he was really poor. He's probably the reason we were out of the Champions League that year. He conceded a lot of goals, but that's the way how we base money is actually unbelievable.
Right. No, it is. And you think about you creating a sporting structure, right? So the first signing you get is, okay, you do the Cunha deal. Was it the Cunha deal or the Mbeumo deal? I can't remember which one. Yeah, it was
Cunha. I think Cunha was the earliest one, then Mbeumo was a little bit later.
And you got to wait. And then, but if you knew the goalkeeper was an issue, why wait until it became catastrophic before you switch? Why not get a keeper? And it's now word is coming out that Amorim didn't necessarily want this goalkeeper, but it's fine. I guess you can have loggerheads. You buy a younger keeper that you think might be for the future, but but you still don't settle the midfield issue. So you got an aging Casemiro. You don't have any control in the midfield. You clearly don't trust Ugarte at the time.
That's a big issue. From the time I was watching like understanding football seriously, probably like 2016, 17. If you watch any great side, always good midfielders, whether it's 2 or 3. But Manchester United never gets it right. Like when we had Pogba, we didn't have a next midfielder to partner properly with Pogba. Then it was Pogba, Fernandes, and Matic, and that worked great for a while. But then they were getting old, and then we didn't replace them. Then recent times we buy Ugarte. Ugarte is not great on the ball, kind of reckless as well. Enrique got rid of him because he can't play the style of football possession-wise, and we still went and bought him. It's just confusing.
No, I think that's where the leadership is the problem, and I think so. Some of those signings I imagine would be from a previous administration, but when Ineos coming in and they're saying they're making these big football decisions, but it's problematic. I don't necessarily think they made major mistakes buying like Cunha or Mbeumo, because those are quality players.
They are great signings. I think those are data back. So I actually like the Cunha signing and Mbeumo and the goalkeeper Lamens.
I think he has potential. But you need better players, and you need players who control the midfield as well, right? I think that's the hardest thing in football. You got to go back to a Michael Carrick, because the last great midfielder that controls stuff, Paul Scholes at United.
Brilliant.
But every team needs someone like a Busquets or a Toni Kroos, and I know those are great names, but
somebody that's just comfortable to pass the ball and keep the game cool. Because we play a lot of like tennis matches. The ball is up and down, always running back. We never like break, and then we wonder when the game gets to like the 80th minute and we give it away, why that's happening. But if you're running up and down for that amount of time and not keeping settled, mistakes are going to happen. Fatigue settling.
No, certainly. I will say I agree with you, and I think that's the consensus in terms of what everybody's saying about, he wouldn't have survived. He would have survived if he didn't mouth off, right? But it's clear that something happened on the Friday. He was upset. Part of the press thing was embargoed. Then they got him on it again, and he just basically, used his way out. And there's talks that whatever he did, I think some stuff in the Athletic was saying that his argument with Jason Wilcox went so far as if, potentially he was saying, I'm done, get my agent or something like that. Some of those things you not 100% confirm, but that's what they're saying,
I think Amorim set himself up for failure as well in the media, because you have to be very careful in the British media, especially with what you say or like how you say it. And especially coming from a foreigner, certain things could be misinterpreted quite easily. Like, you could just be making a blunt comment and they take it out of context and run a whole week of just that. So even like continuously coming into the press conferences and saying that we're going to suffer, fans are not going to like to hear that. No one wants to suffer all the time.
And you can't suffer at a club like Manchester United.
Exactly. You don't have time to suffer its results. And I don't like the excuse where we're saying that we need better players all the time. We see managers come into mid-level teams like, say, a Brighton, and they don't have any of their players, but they deal with what they have, and they make them play great football, and then they get some of the signings they want. So I find it interesting that every time with the Manchester United manager, it's always, they didn't get their players and this and that. They need to coach the players well as well.
Right. And big clubs like United shouldn't be allowed to be in the situation. Real Madrid would be upset. Barcelona would be upset. Bayern Munich. They'll figure it out. This is too long, right? Yeah. Let me just get this comment. Hey, Neeraj, he wants to talk about West Indies cricket. We'll get to you in a second. We're going to talk a little bit about West Indies cricket in just a second. So hang on. Thanks for joining from India. Yeah. So I think he should have had some flexibility. I think the biggest problem, and I agree with you too, is that you should not be wedded to a system. You should be wedded to a philosophy.
Exactly.
Like maybe you're attacking.
Correct.
Yeah, I like to attack. We like to do that. You also have to think about the club itself and the history. You got to go back to Matt Busby. What that means to think about entertaining people who work hard. You have to understand the history of the club. You go to Alex Ferguson, Fergie Fledglings, all of those class of 92 guys. There's a particular way you play. And people will endear themselves to you if you play in a particular way. They want you to win. You have to win at some point. But you cannot be losing and also playing in a way that they're not happy about. And if you want control at Manchester United or any major club, you immediately have to go in there and win. Or you have to show that you're winning or you're making progress. Because the moment what you're doing doesn't deliver results and the football is also ugly, it's the moment you're done. And let's be real, at big clubs, you get called in all the time. They call in. Javi Alonso is being called in at Real Madrid. And he was doing so. He's a club legend. He's also great stuff he did in Germany. They call you in immediately. They're like, look, what are you doing? So
that's why I'm saying the standards have dropped. Like Javi Alonso was falling out with Vinicius, and there were rumors that Javi is going to be sat and you're second or first in the league. Like, a team that could probably win the UCL. And then you have Manchester United, because we finished 15th last season. Every United fan thinking, it can't get worse. We are sixth, so it's the greatest thing ever. But then when you watch the games, you're like, you should be doing better though. We even could have beaten Arsenal on the first. It was the first game of the season. Exactly. So we dropped a lot.
I think United should be firmly in with a proper manager. They would probably be firmly in third right now. I think.
I definitely agree.
And all the points you've dropped against teams that
smaller
are
size,
fighting for their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look, today we should have won that. I'm not going to be upset with Darren Fletcher. He is under interesting circumstances there. But I like somebody
as well, right?
Who Fletcher? He's supposed to get youth team talent into the first team. Right. So that is his role. But he's also coaching.
Kind of makes sense,
yeah, he's also coaching the under 18s, or he was coaching. His sons are at the club, so he had to step out of some of that stuff too. But
What are your thoughts on the two managers that they're looking at, though, Michael Carrick and Ole? I think
so. That's an interesting thing. So I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. Carrick was there. Solskjær was there too. They need somebody to steady this thing until the summer. I don't think you can hire a manager before the summer, only because the managerial pool will probably expand by the time you get to the summer. There's a couple of guys that are also coaching.
I think Enrique might not be looking to extend that PSG. I saw that yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I saw that too. So that's a possibility.
But I also saw a possibility they're saying that Carrick and Ole could work together too.
For what? I saw that not for long term or just for the
No, I think for this period, January to the end of the season. But I wouldn't mind giving Ole a second chance, because I think that was the best football that we ever played. Like the attacking football was incredible. We were quite
Yeah,
unlucky to lose that final when
that
the Hill
final on a
couldn't
penalty. Yeah,
save a
yeah,
penalty.
yeah. No, I'm not upset with that. You could get Wayne Rooney if you want. You could get whoever you want to bring
Yeah,
in.
someone
Somebody
that knows the club and will get the fans
exactly.
behind him. Because if you bring
Yeah,
someone that's not experienced again, the fans
yeah,
are not gonna believe. But you see Michael Carrick or they like, okay, let me give them
yeah.
some time. We
I'm fine
still
with Fletcher
building.
too. All
Yeah,
the
it doesn't
talks
matter
is
to me really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has high praise for Darren Fletcher as well. So I'm okay with anybody stabilizing until the end of the season. It's going to be a big decision because if United is saying they're going to run like a modern institution, that means the sporting director, that kind of technical team, they help to dictate the way the club is supposed to be played. So this is how you have to think about it.
Mhm.
If you're going to play in a particular way or philosophy, then the moment you get the right coach, you have to think about what if he got a heart attack tomorrow morning? Not even if he's doing bad results. If he
Mhm.
died the next day,
Who's that? Yes,
who would
exactly.
replace him? Who could he just fill in? And
That's
we
like
don't necessarily have to
confused.
know those people in
Mhm.
terms of like they don't have to always be high profile. They probably need to be high profile given the status of the club. But you get some people who can come in and fit the system. So if we were going to go at three at the back, which clearly they don't want to go,
Mhm.
then you have to hire somebody else who could do that, right? But
But
that's
it
not.
would compliment Ineos on like the building of the facility, the structure as well, because Christopher Vevel does a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
recruitment.
yeah,
Then the CEO Beretta is just to like really get everyone on the same page. Because I think everyone they seem to have different philosophies.
yeah.
Because Beretta and Wilcox came from Man City, and
City,
then
yeah.
Vevel came from I think Chelsea and RB. I think that RB group.
Yeah, I
So
remember this is long before your time, but I remember watching Wilcox play football. He used to play. He won a title in '95 again with Blackburn
okay.
when they beat Manchester United to that title. That was probably one of my earlier watching the Premier Leagues. But yeah. He was a good footballer too.
Because the data team seems like our scouts seem to be good because the names that we're linked with, even like some of the South American players and then like the
Right.
younger players that coming through the academy as well. Like we have a great academy. Probably like
Yeah.
top three in England. Probably only Man City and Chelsea.
Chelsea. Yeah.
Maybe Arsenal could be better, but
Yeah.
outside of that,
No.
I just think it's getting the manager right and the recruitment.
Yeah.
Because Man
It
U will
is.
always make money even if like we suffer a little bit. Manchester United is a big global brand.
No, it is. It's one of the biggest football clubs in the world. Some say the biggest. We can debate on that. But the truth is, for a team that has not been successful since Sir Alex Ferguson won more trophies than Arsenal. So you see, in that same period, obviously those are cups, but they're not satisfied with that. There needs to be some improvement there. I think Barada, Wilcox, those guys they'd have to hold their hands up. They made some massive mistakes, that in terms of what they're doing, and you cannot rush into the decision of getting the coach. I don't know who the next coach could be. Honest with you, I wouldn't mind Don Carlio, because Ancelotti could be the guy to settle it for a little bit. I don't think he's gonna
But I
last much.
don't.
I can't see Ancelotti
I
lasting
can
at
see
Brazil.
I can see Ancelotti in like the past, like right after Mourinho. I could have seen Ancelotti
Right.
with like dealing
But
with the
not now.
big
But I
names.
mean, he
But
went
I feel
on
like
to
we don't
win
got big names. We don't have big names like before.
I mean,
You remember we
I
had
don't know, but he's a
Pogba
winner, right?
and
And he's a
Lukaku.
man management guy too. I like Nagelsmann. I think he could do something there, but I don't know, right?
I want a coach like Hansi Flick. I watched a lot of Barcelona because Rashford
Yeah,
is
but
on
we
one.
can't get Hansi Flick, right?
So I mean
Yeah.
similar, even like Julian Nagelsmann
Yeah, Nagelsmann. I think we can get Nagelsmann, but his contract isn't
with
up
Germany.
until.
Yeah.
I think his contract lasts until the Euros, right? So I don't know if he'll stay. I don't think Germany will win the World Cup, but you never know. Say they won the
Definitely
World
not.
Cup, then he's definitely not leaving. And I think Ancelotti is only going to be a Brazil. There's two things going
Probably
to
for the
happen.
next World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ancelotti won't stay after what happens in the cycle, regardless. I think
Getting old. Yeah.
he is an older guy, but it's also kind of weak for the Brazilians to be hiring Ancelotti as their coach. It just doesn't sit well in terms of a football philosophy. Like it's not a thing
To
you should
you,
do.
I
Like,
think it's
huh?
a perfect fit.
No, I mean I can't
It's
see.
a perfect. It's a
Some
perfect.
countries can hire other coaches,
Oh,
but
you mean in terms of a Brazilian
a
managing?
Brazilian should always be managed by a
But
Brazilian
Boas,
because yeah.
no, he didn't. He managed Brazil. I'm trying to remember if Boas managed Brazil.
No, Brazil has
I,
always been coached by Brazilians
I
before. This is the first. This is, I think, this is the first time in
the
history,
first time. Yeah,
as far as I
you're
can
right.
remember. Yeah. Unless we go back pre-1930, maybe. I don't
But
know
I think
if
it's a
before
perfect
that.
fit because Brazil kind of remind me of Real Madrid. Big
Yeah, I know why
stars,
they're doing
the
it, but
big
also,
history. I think
yeah,
it works.
but it's also a Real Madrid
Rodrigo,
influence.
Vinicius, a lot of Real Madrid players are there as well.
Yeah, but it's a Real Madrid influence in the upper administration in Brazilian soccer, right? So Kaká is influential. Leonardo, I think, played with Ancelotti at Milan, I think, and so there's some other guys there. So it's a perfect fit, but they had to sell that. It's not an easy sell to. These Brazil invented the back four, right? Like not a thing that you when you're like that big in football. Brazil has
but I
lost
think it can work because Brazil haven't won the World Cup since which year was
2002.
2002. So I think it works. Like if you go through 2006, 10, 14, that's about 4 or 5 World Cups.
They haven't gone past the quarterfinals since
exactly.
that time.
I think fans would take anything at this point.
I think they would. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, except like now, they still don't want to talk about that 7-1 against Germany on home soil. But here's the thing. I get it. I'm just joking, but I seriously think, though, from a philosophical standpoint, if you're Italy, you should always have an Italian manager. Only because the structure of the football structure is just deep there. It's not like a lesser nation. You know what I'm saying? Like they have big leagues. They have tons of talent. They do the thing. I understand.
I think in a modern age, I don't really think it matters who manages.
Who coaches?
Yeah, even in women's football, the national size, or I think England, it was England that's managed by.
Yeah, they have the. Yeah, I get that. England has always experimented. Obviously, they've had Capello. Before Capello, they had
I think like
Sven-Göran Eriksson.
But I think since you want this World Cup, you really want it, and there's a top manager from another country, I don't think it really matters, no.
Yeah.
Unless it's somebody that's inexperienced.
Yeah. Brazil asked him to win World Cup on US soil to 94, long before your time too. I remember it very well. Penalty kicks against Italy, Roberto Baggio skying a big thing there, but this is a different story. But yeah, but just to finish up with Manchester United point, I don't know. I think there's managers in the Premier League that could potentially be attractive. I would say the Villa manager is really good. Unai Emery. I could see that.
We've seen in a bigger club before though. Arsenal.
Yeah, but Arsenal
towards the end that didn't go too well.
I think they probably should have stick with him some more. But he won. I guess he's won. Didn't he win the title at PSG? Did he win the title at PSG? Yeah.
I mean, that's a given.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
that's a given.
But if you want someone with Premier League experience,
I mean, he's a good coach, though. He's a great coach,
and he would be respected. He would come in with a proper structure too. I think he could be
won the Europa League, so he has backing,
like 4 times, I think, or something like that. And so he would be an interesting guy. That guy at Areola, or I think he's interesting too. I like him.
Oh, the Bournemouth manager.
Yeah. I think he could be a prospect, but that's a big jump, though.
That's a very big jump because it's even Amorim was a big jump. Even though he won the league in Sporting, that's not comparable to the Premier.
Yeah, you need someone with a lot of ability to take the heat. If the
Maresca is not a bad option.
Yeah, but
from the school of Pep.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think they would go that direction. It's like he failed at Chelsea. I don't think they'll do it. But I don't know. It's an interesting one. I think that's gonna be the managerial job for the summer. I'm sure there won't be any shortage of people lining up for that job. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
everybody wants it. Even although in recent times it would appear as if you are unsuccessful, it could cost you a little bit. But I'm sure those managers will be fine. Amorim will get back on his feet, I think.
Yeah, he would probably get there.
Yeah. So
Actually, Ten Hag just got a technical director role.
director
at
20.
FC20,
Yeah. But he had gotten that job at Bayern Leverkusen and got fired before the season even started, right? So yeah.
I mean, it was
don't
always hard going there, a team that was unbeaten. So yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll definitely see. I hope the merry-go-round stops in terms of the rotation of manager to manager. Maybe you get somebody who really understands the club and the philosophy, and it could be, as you say, it could be. What happens if you hire Solskjaer back, right? Let's put some markers here. What happens if you hire him? Carrick comes back in, Fletcher's around, whatever he wants to do, and say finishes in top 4. Say he gets Champions League and wins.
It's funny enough,
and wins
though, we're saying this, that it didn't work before. I'm more sure that Carrick was on Ole's team when he was manager.
Yeah,
he was still. I think he was still getting his coaching badges and stuff. And Fletcher was around as well. So
yeah, all of those guys were around.
And yeah, I think it works. I genuinely think it can work. They know what it is to win the Premier League as well.
I think it could work as to stabilize the club for sure. But what if it works better than you think? So you remember when they brought in Ole the time, they never anticipated that Ole would have been second, would be the manager, but they finished second and they looked good. And the football was, the football started to feel better, and there was a definite happiness from the fans, nostalgia to all of that kind of thing. What if he comes in and we finish 4th? And he gets a trophy.
Next season?
Yeah. So you suppose, I don't know what they'll do. The word is Fletcher will manage the next game, and then they'll take it from there. But suppose they hire Ole Gunnar Solskjær, he brings in a team of people for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. And they manage to finish in the 4th position. It just works brilliantly well, and they manage to finish 4th. And they, do a run in the FA Cup, get to the final, win it. So he wins a cup, finishes 4th. How do you don't you have to hire him after that?
You have to. It's not because the players would have got familiar with him. If you just go and throw that way in the summer, it kind of looks like you don't know where you're going.
Right.
You look confused. So I think that could actually be possible, because I think Ole would have learned from his mistakes, bringing like that Galactico signing Ronaldo. I mean, he had to do it.
Yeah, they had to do that. He couldn't go to City, but in retrospect, it was.
But yeah, looking back, I think that's where his downfall came.
Yeah.
So I think he would have learned, and then he will be great for Sesko as well, because Haaland and Sesko, similar height, similar build, physical attributes. So it could work for our attackers.
Yeah, but partly though. So the reason why I ask this question this way is, if you bring him in as a caretaker manager, I think you have to think that he won't be the manager, and you shouldn't get romantic if it works out very well.
That's what
happened the first time. So I'm thinking. So I'm saying, if they were to do that, would it be a mistake? I think they need to find a manager they really believe in that will work with the structure.
And if they can go, is not. I just don't think the manager pool is like what it was 5-10 years ago. You had not even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like when you had Pep, Klopp, like great managers. I think like the managers know they have a philosophy, but then they made that jump to bigger teams, and you realize they kind of get exposed. So I don't even know if there is a perfect manager right now. I think it's just you will have to try and see, and if it doesn't work, switch again. Like Chelsea, like rotate them out.
Yeah. I mean, the Chelsea stuff is crazy. We could spend all day on that type of thing as well. But yeah, I just don't know. I would love to see whoever comes in successful. I mean, I would, you want that to happen, because I genuinely think that Champions League spot is available if they play well. Yeah. You think about the players coming back. If Mbeumo comes back, Ahmad comes back, and
it's almost like you're starting fresh.
Yeah,
because like 17 games left.
Yeah,
17.
So what if you get a guy? What if you get a manager that wins 9 out of 17 and draws like 4? You're really in in a
probably in top
competitive
4 or 5.
position. Yeah.
And I don't even think you need to be top 4 to make Champions League. It's 5
No,
spots we normally.
maybe 5 can be
Yeah,
do it because of coefficient or whatever it's called,
yeah.
right? So I yeah, that's a very, very interesting thing. All right, we've been talking a lot about Manchester. I just hopefully they make the right decision here, and we'll see what happens. Cool. Let's talk a little cricket. You had you had a video last night with was it Drew Andrew? He's off
Yeah,
to
Joe Andrew, they've departed yesterday for the under 19 World Cup.
yeah. What do you think about him going back to under 19 World Cup? What does that say about our ability to develop him?
I think I wouldn't say he was rushed. I think it was great on Sammy to give him the opportunity,
Right.
a young promising player that did well at the 2024 World Cup, to get in the senior ranks, even if he failed, come back
Right.
down a level, dominate cricket, and show that you can get back to that level. So I think it can only do great for the other West Indies under 19 cricketers that would have seen his journey so far to be
Yeah.
like, okay, if I perform well enough, I could probably go to the highest level in quick time.
Yeah. No, I like the kid. I think he has a lot of talent. I only wish you could just like send him to England or Australia or
Yeah, he's a great
someplace.
talent. Yeah.
Yeah, New Zealand. Just even for like a short stint, just to develop his cricket and is a bit and his
I think a few months ago, a good set of them went over to India, though, if I'm not mistaken. I think to the Chennai Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I think you need to do more of that, but then don't forget the money as well. So
yeah, it's very costly to do that, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Because there's two things that happen when players travel, right? It's not only that you're developing and learning to play in different conditions and also competing with sometimes better talent, because there's cricket is different across the world, first class cricket in general, but it also develops you mentally, right? You have to be a man, right? You in this case we're talking about the boys here, but they have to develop responsibility. And I always remember Ian Bishop saying something many years ago. It's like when he went to England first, and he wasn't playing county cricket yet. I think he was playing like league cricket or something below. But just to know that you have to get up and catch a ride to go to the cricket and just find yourself, and you're navigating a new country, that teaches you something that it puts you out of your comfort zone. And the more you can get the players out of their comfort zone, and them recognizing that talent is just like one part of it, right? You have to develop everything else to become really good at your craft. But I hope they do well. We've been inconsistent at the under 19 World Cup. Sometimes we show up when we won it some years ago.
2016, actually, 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, it's 10 years. Then we finished like 11th. Sometimes
it was like 11th, then 5th, then
5th, yeah.
10th first. So yeah, then 6th. So
yeah.
Yeah,
This will be interesting.
This team can go far, though. I really think this team can go far. Obviously, you're going to come out against India. Cricket is like a religion over there, so they're going to be great. England, Australia, the South Africans, but I think this team at least is going to the Super 6 and could go all the way. Once they fire on all cylinders, I think could go all the way.
No, I agree with you. I think I haven't seen much of everybody, to be honest. So you've probably seen a lot more than I do, but it should be interesting. Where is it? What, Zimbabwe and Namibia? Is it?
Yeah, Zimbabwe and Namibia. I'm not sure where we're playing, though. I think we probably are playing in Zimbabwe, though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We're in what, Group D with what, South Africa and Afghanistan and Tanzania, I think, or something like that. Yeah. When I last checked. So hopefully it works out well. I think we play one game with Tanzania in their country, in Tanzania, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. So,
there's a pacer to watch out for, though. Jakeem Pollard, left arm pacer that we have coming out of Barbados. He was really good in the series against Sri Lanka and England. And obviously Joshua Darn got some scores. I think he had the most runs. The vice captain, Von Launch. He's a good all-rounder. Who else in there? Then we have Joel to back them up. Shaquan Bell, he's the all-rounder from Barbados, pacer. There's a left arm spin on. The name begins with V. I think it's Vital. Could be wrong, but there are quite a good set of names in there that perform well against England and Sri Lanka. So those are two different sets of opposition. I
Right.
think the thing that it should go well the preparation and then keeping them together in Antigua and playing so much cricket and seeing they probably even got to like butt heads with some of the senior cricketers as well. You never know. And then on the coaching staff, you have Nikita Miller and the Jerome
Right.
Taylor. So a lot of experience in the camp and all over the year that they have had. So I think they're very prepared for this World Cup. Like,
No, I
couldn't want
agree.
more.
There's a
Couldn't
lot of
want more than that. Couldn't.
yeah, there was a lot of cricket this year for them too. So yeah, I'm excited about the Dorn kid for sure. I think he could do something special at the World Cup. So hopefully, I think I always say, and I don't know your take on this over the years watching like under 19 cricket. When you look at like a West Indies team that goes to an under 19 cricket, and you look at most other teams, like there's not a lot of difference in terms of the talent. Sometimes we might have
Not.
even more talented players than other nations, right? But it's just the development from 19 to 23. That is the crucial
I'm
thing.
glad you mentioned that
Yeah.
because look at it this way with Jacob Bethell in the Ashes. Jacob is 22.
Yeah.
I like if you look at some of the West Indies players probably from the last World Cup 2024, how many of them are playing in a
Transition.
proper like senior setup? Look at how the selectors took a like bet on Jacob Bethell. I mean the talent is on the net, but look how like they threw him into the Lions Den without any experience in first class cricket. We don't do that.
Right.
We stick to
Yeah.
one person that say in their late 20s.
Yeah.
We might get a few scores here and there, but when they keep on failing, we still keep on persisting with them. When we could like try a younger player that came through the under 19 ranks. Like
Right.
look at an example I have is like look at a young Nathan Seeley. He was vice captain for the West Indies at the last under 19 World Cup. Left arm spinner, can bat well, could bat just as good as he bowls. Like, and what's he playing with Nathan Seeley now? You don't
Yeah.
really hear the name in like he's obviously close to representing Barbados in like a regional setup in years to come. He scored 100 in like a practice match. It was either this year or last year, I think, when leading up to Super 50, but he didn't play in the squad. I think it was a replacement for somebody. I can't remember, but somebody like that. That's what I mean. Like, why we don't push the younger players some more? Like, I just can't get it on stand. It's one thing that always like bothers me. Like, we should be pushing a lot of our players, like Joshua Bishop,
Right.
Nathan City, like I said, there's a lot of talented players that be like just ignore, and then time pass, and you look at it, they're 26, 27.
And they're
Cricket
done.
has
Yeah.
their cricket has regressed because we
Yeah.
have not given the opportunity.
The biggest thing is if you don't play cricket and if you're not playing competitive cricket, then there's nothing that your talent can stand up on that. There's no way. You just cannot. You could be the greatest talent we've ever seen, but if you're not playing your trade with other equally talented people or getting exposure at other levels and playing, it's just not going to work, right? Like when an Australian cricketer is not doing so well, you can just push him back into Shield cricket, and it's
Exactly.
very difficult to
But-
even find your way out of Shield cricket. Likewise in India or county cricket, sometimes people complain about county cricket, but they're playing a lot of cricket. Like at least you can find good first class cricket. In the West Indies, we're cutting first class cricket, right? Because of finances, and it seems as if there's less money, and we understand
exactly.
the
And then
the
you even see
disparity.
the academy or CCC who would have produced a lot of West Indies cricketers and younger cricketers, given them the opportunity. They have been cut from the Super 50 version, so probably I don't even know if they will play for it. Not sure.
Yeah, I don't think
remember.
so. Yeah.
So I don't know. And with Barbados, for example, is they go with the more experienced players, which is understandable because if a Jason Holder comes back and Austin Chase, they have to play. It's obvious, but
Right.
it's just sad, I guess, to see that players in like South Africa, Australia get the opportunity at such an early age, even if they feel they can take that experience, bounce back, and then probably come back a little later. But we don't give the people the experience at all. I mean, Sammy has been doing it though, because Akeem August got the opportunity to play, and then some other players. So
yeah, and then recently, what's the tall guy that was playing? He played one test match in New Zealand.
Or just
Is it
Shields?
Lane? Is it
Oh, you
Lane?
mean
No.
Johan? Oh, you mean a youngster?
Yeah,
Yeah, Johan.
yeah.
And
And
in
I mean,
India,
part of
yeah.
that was obviously because Shamar and Alzarri was injured, but you got to
But
give those guys some experience. And the
that's
problem
actually
is,
what I like about Sammy, because everybody's been bashing Sammy, but you gotta try
yeah,
different things. Like people were probably saying white or just Shields, but you have to try something.
yeah. Oh, the Shields thing was surprising to me, and he's not a young
Yeah,
kid
but
either, right?
yeah, he's not young, but
Yeah, but
if he has express pace and no
yeah,
other options, why not try it?
yeah. Since you went on to that, I was a bit disappointed in the New Zealand series because, but I tell you, the first Test match, the way in which, first of all, if we were to think about that series, you got to give everything to Shea Hope because I think he fought
The shit was
beyond
brilliant.
measure. He had he had that eye injury. He wasn't feeling so well at different points. He was fighting for the team. I think Shea Hope has finally been back. Probably now the only
He
question is he
he's a
playing too
modern
much
day
cricket
great.
now? Yeah.
Modern day great.
Yeah. And Justin Graves. So that kind of performance that we saw in the first Test match, then to go to the second one and just give it away, and I just don't get it, right? You know, that was upsetting. And in the final Test match too, there were moments that they were in the match, then
Yeah,
they
and
weren't
then
in the match
just
anymore. Yeah.
I think it's just concentrating for a long period of time, making that adjustment from the shorter version of cricket is not
Yeah.
it's not easy. So and then you're up against sides that in the like top 4 and 5 in the world who play a lot of cricket compared to us. Then
Right.
I like that we brought back Hodge though. I was
Oh
always wondering why.
yeah.
I was wondering where has he gone? Like, but I'm glad we brought back Hodge. I think he has had a few scores in that series BK. So it's like it was spaced up between the matches where some people got their scores and then it didn't
Right.
just come together as one.
Yeah.
I
You
think that was the
need
problem. It was like just
yeah.
individuals getting starts and then getting up. But I think the more cricket we play, we're starting to see like improvement. Because if you look back to the Australia series, like
Right.
everybody was averaging like 20 something. You would
Yeah.
get the one good score like 50, 40, and then everybody else was 20, 19,
Yeah. And
10.
then mid start just killed us in the
But we
final
got a
Test
lot of
match.
40s and 50s
Yeah.
in that New Zealand series. So it's small progress, but it's the West Indies, so you gotta take it.
Yeah, you know, it's you know, it's the reality of where we are. You know, it's just hard to see 30. I always joke with you and say you just never saw, you know, glory days of West Indies cricket. It's just like so difficult to watch these guys. I mean, outside of a couple of T20 World Cups, but like the whole test process. I think that's the biggest challenge. Like the guys aren't playing enough cricket. I think you mentioned Alec Athanaze. No, it doesn't take genius to see that he's a superb talented player, but he's just not kicking on, and I think it's because he's just not getting the cricket he needs. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think if Athanaze played a whole summer of county cricket, he'll be
Yeah.
fine. Look what happened to Jaden Seals when he went and played that county cricket there, and then led into that English series we had like 2 years ago now or whatever. He's a totally different bowler right now, right? The only guy that doesn't play anywhere any extra cricket and is superb is probably Shamar Joseph. But outside of that, everybody and the batters need to
Yeah.
be
You
playing.
need that time, yeah.
Yeah, you need time in Shield. It's hard to get into Shield cricket, or no one will just take you and like it's not a project, right? It's not like a what is the interest of county cricket or of Shield cricket? Shield cricket doesn't even want not Shield cricket. County cricket don't even want Australians to play when
To get the
the
benefit,
Ashes
yeah.
come back next time, right? You know, because they don't want them to kind of acclimatize to the conditions. So,
but too much cricket is playing though. Like it's too much.
we,
Like
too much,
that.
too much,
I mean, like
too much waste cricket, like T20 cricket, I would say.
I mean, in general, like
Yeah.
dude just came from the West Indies series, the T20s, the ODIs, then
Yeah.
straight to Australia. It's like so much cricket to follow. Then the IL T20 that just finished.
Yeah.
After the
Big
World
bash is
Cup and
going
the
on now,
IPL,
right?
big bash is
Yeah.
going on. It's so much cricket to keep track of, and then these guys are switching from, like I told you before, switching from so much different formats: T20, 50 over, Test cricket. Then you gotta be, all right, you gotta be patient. Then you're like, okay, I gotta score more runs.
Yeah.
If you're not built for it, I can see how hard it could be.
No, it is. It's a hard thing to switch on because someone is talking about like even Cam Green here for Australia, really talented,
Exactly.
but sometimes it takes a while to realize you're not playing T20, right? You know, and I don't know. We'll see. But speaking of T20, as when we last checked, the West Indies hadn't declared a squad yet,
Their
right?
squad, yeah, and they haven't.
Yeah, because I checked earlier today, and
I think there's a reason for that though. I think they're delaying it because probably waiting to see if Alzarri and Shamar are going to be like fit enough to make it. Because even if they miss like say the first game or could be 2 games, I think they would probably still carry both of them to the World Cup.
So
Those are
let me
Sammy's
ask you then.
main bowlers.
Let me ask you this then. So is that a wise decision? Because we haven't seen Shamar and Alzarri since what? Since Australia, right? Did they go to
Australia, I
the
think
T20s in the summer?
I know it, but I know it didn't go in. I know Shamar didn't go to India. I don't think Alzarri was in
Oh,
India.
I think he was in. Did he play against Ireland or in England when we played
It's,
T20? I think he played.
I
Yeah, he
think
may
yeah,
have played one or two. Yeah.
but the reason why I think he will go with them because then you're gonna if you don't take Alzarri and Shamar, you're going with less experienced bowlers. And if you even
But if they're
compare it
not
to like,
fit though,
but look at it this way, Joffrey just hurt himself in the Ashes, and he was
mm,
still named in England's provisional squad to go to that same T20 World Cup. So I
that's true.
think they will probably know that with a timeline that they have and how the coaches are working with them, if they will be like full tilt ready to go for the World Cup. So I still think they can make it. If you're waiting this song to release, I think there probably there's a possibility that they will make it.
Okay. What would be your squad? I think you had named. I think you did a video on who you think
I
should
think
be
I
in
can
the
remember
squad.
it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I based this squad off of what Sammy was doing for the last few series, who he picked, and like the pool of players that he was picking from, and like the introduction of like, the left armers and stuff. So I had opening the batting. I would just name the pool that I had. So Ale Ateneas got a few games at the top. Brandon King is going to be there for sure. Shea Hope is a given.
Yeah.
Rutherford,
I
Robman
hope he
Powell.
finds some form. Yeah. Go. Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't in form in the IL. It was the IL
Yeah.
T20 he was playing. Yeah. Rutherford, Powell. Jason Holder is definitely there as well.
Right.
Roston Chase. This is not the actual starting 11, just calling
Yeah.
letters. Roston Chase, Romario Shepherd, Akil Hussain, Shamar Joseph, Alzarri Joseph. Well, I didn't include them in the first one because obviously they're injured. Ramon Simmons, Matthew Ford, Moti, and Shamar. I said Shamar Smear, that's no?
Yeah.
Who's the
I
last one?
think you said that.
Calmers.
Calmer.
I think that was the 15 that I had. Or
So no room for Jaden Seals.
Oh, Jaden Seals was in my squad as well because
Yeah.
don't forget we had to ignore the two Josephs.
Right.
So yeah, Jaden Seals was in there.
Yeah. What about Hetmeyer? He can.
The reason I wanted Hetmeyer to be in my squad, but the reason I didn't include Hetmeyer is because he didn't play in the recent series that we had. Like
Right.
he didn't play in New Zealand. I mean, yeah, New Zealand.
Did he
And
decline to play?
I
I'm trying
think
to remember.
I can't remember honestly.
Yeah.
It's a possibility, high possibility. So that's exactly why I didn't select him for the squad because his commitment to West Indies is
iffy.
not there. It's not
Yeah.
there. So
I just
go
saw
with people that are
Australia
committed
just
to
lost
playing.
a lot of wicket there. Steve Smith just got out.
Steve Smith. For
Yeah,
how much?
yeah. I think I don't remember how much. Oh, that's a good ball. It was turning there. Good turn. Took out the leg stump there. It looks like. When I see the score again, I'll let you. Let me check. Yeah, it's Australia 92 for 3 right now. Smith just got out for not a lot. I think it's like. Let me check. He got out for 12. So Jack's just got him, bowled him. Yeah. So if they can pick up a couple more wickets, it could pressure on Australia, because
Yeah, a little
the
bit.
last day at Sydney can be a challenging day to bat. But yeah, we'll see. Labuschagne is there, so I still think Australia should get these runs
Yeah, I think
comfortably,
so as
but
well.
you never know. Yeah. Back to what you're. Sorry about that. Back to what you were saying there.
But it was
Yeah,
about
the
commitment.
Hetmyer debate is interesting because talk about talent. Jeez.
Yeah, talented. From the under-19 World Cup, we could have seen
Yeah.
Hetmyer was talented.
Then
It's
he
just
had
like
those
he's
struggles
one
with
of
his
those
weight,
players.
all that stuff. Yeah.
He's one of those what-if players. Like the talent is there, but it just never seems to come off on like the biggest stage. When I say the biggest stage, I mean like for West Indies at a World
Right.
Cup. I don't mean in franchise cricket because he's great. He's great for Ghana and in the other franchise cricket that he plays, but actually for West Indies, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, it is. It's just one of those things. I saw I think I saw a social media post or maybe a news post from Trinidad saying Puran said he's comfortable with his decision. So I'm not quite sure who asked him about whether he would come out.
He was on a podcast recently. I think it was the one with Moin Ali, bearded. Beard something podcast, and he seems to be quite comfortable. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I'm more sure he was.
I think I had to quote someplace. Yeah,
he was basically just talking about where he came from, like a small place like Trinidad. Because when you look at it, Trinidad is a small place if you look on the world scale. Like he's comfortable with his decision that he made for him and his family, and you can't really knock a man for saying that. Like, yes, we would like to see him play because he is young, and traditionally people retire late in like 35, 30.
Yeah.
But if that's his decision and he thinks that's the best for him and his family, can debate and say, oh, this and that. No, you have to respect it.
I agree, and to be honest with you, I like Nicholas Puran. I think super talented.
Yeah, top there.
Really good on franchise cricket, but when you look at the numbers, he just never really does it for the West Indies when you need him to do it, you know, like it's just not there, you know. But you know, when he suits up in the IPL or when he checks around the world, it's a different story, you know. So
I don't know if I'm being nostalgic though, but I had a bold hit. I just had this vision that West Indies is gonna win the T20 World Cup and the Under-19 World Cup 10 years on for the anniversary. What, you can't dare to dream, because look at it.
What's the great Barbados from Mount Gay? Did you take a couple sips of that before you come on tonight?
Because if you look back in 2016, no one had the West Indies on the 19 team to win. No one had them, and everybody was talking about India because I remember Pant was part of that team as well.
Right.
Even if you look back at the T20 World Cup, even though we had Chris Gayle and all of them, people would have said, "Oh, England probably would have beaten them." India
was favored, right?
Exactly.
We beat them in the semi-final, right? Yeah.
We were never the favorites going into any World Cup that I would have seen.
Right.
So
here's what I would say to that. I think we have a better chance of winning the Under-19 World Cup than we have anywhere in the T20. In fact, the only way I think we're coming out of the group in the T20 is because Bangladesh may not show up at this World Cup, because I don't know what's going on with Bangladesh.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree.
We have no shot at the World Cup at the T20.
We have a shot. I see it. The only thing that would be our downfall is our bowling. It could be the spinner or like one bowling option that lets us down. But batting wise, we probably have one of the strongest teams at the World Cup. Like if you go look at all the teams from number one,
India is the strongest team.
Yeah, India obviously. But if you look, if a Brandon King fires, Rutherford, Powell, if at least 5 of them fire, we probably commit 200 comfortably in most matches. But then it's the bowling. It's a lot of our bowling. The bowling that lets us down, because we could make 220, and if the bowling is not good, 220 is like 150.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how much wickets Akil Hossain will take. I think he'll be okay, but we need another good spinner to do this, and I'm not sure if we'll pull that off.
But I think we did some work with Moti. I think West Indies released something like it was a month ago or 2 months ago when they said that Moti was going to do some work on his bowling.
Yeah,
as well. So
we'll see. I mean, look, I would love it. You know,
because Moti is a good player, great player.
Yeah,
because he can bat as well. No, that's what I'm telling you about our batting. Like even
I agree with you. We see it, but sometimes do the things the right way. But I would love it in the words of the great Kevin Keegan, who, if I don't know if you know Kevin Keegan, former English player, I think he won the Ballon d'Or a couple of times. But he I think he was diagnosed with cancer today too. But he had a famous clip many years ago where Manchester, he was a coach of Newcastle at the time, and he was like, I would love it, they have to go. And he was on this rant and they lost the title, and Fergie just basically mind games, he's like, we still fighting for the title. But anyway, shout out to Kevin Keegan. I mean, hopefully he gets the treatment he needs and he'll be on the mend. But to quote it, to follow what he's saying, I would love it to see if the West Indies could win this World Cup or go far. I can't see it though, to be honest with you. But I think the last World Cup we should have done stuff and we didn't. The one that we had in the Caribbean.
I'd like to go into a tournament if I'm back in the side and it's a trophy that you're going for. I don't want to go in tournament see. Maybe get knocked out in the group stage. I want to be delusional and dream. This is the Caribbean coming together. This is T20. This is what we're great at. The T20 is our best shot at a proper trophy and recognition in the world right now. We're not going to win a World Test Championship. We can't even qualify for the ODI World Cup.
The ODI.
The T20 is our best shot, and
that's why when the last time you were here, we should stop playing cricket.
We played too many T20 matches not to be great at T20 cricket. So we have to.
How you explain what happened in the summer to who did we play and lose? You
mean at the previous World Cup?
No, when we lost that series in it
was Australia.
No, the T20. We went down to
Nepal. But that was a false trying to say. That was just to say that some of the players that would be in the pool that Sammy sent up. I think August played, Ramon Simmons.
Right.
Kyle Mears was in there as well. A lot of the big dogs were in there.
I hope you're right on this, Nathan. I hope you're right.
And Nepal play a lot of T20 cricket, like I said. So it's not like it's just Nepal and you don't recognize them. They still play a lot of cricket.
Yeah. So, I hope you're right. I mean, I don't know. I really hope that that we can do something, because I think we need something to cheer the cricketing region. They need something to hold on to.
Yeah, we need something. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's certainly. I'll be honest with you. When we went to Australia and we played some Test cricket, and when even Australia came to the Caribbean recently, I saw some bright sparks in the Test setup. At least with the bowling. And for once, we could be happy that we had a bowling unit that can take 20 wickets. The batting isn't quite there, and that's going to be a harder fix to do. But if we can fix that, then we could see some progress there. But the T20. It gives them a shot to express themselves, and hopefully they can do it, right? And at least not get out in the group stage. Because I don't have a lot of hopes. I like you, but I'm hoping that I'm
definitely get out of the group stage. Come on. What is your
now
side,
I'm
though?
more confident that we might get out of the group stage just because of Bangladesh, but I don't know if they'll even show up at the World Cup, right? So
what's your side, though? Your best 11?
I don't know. That's what I would hope for. I would love to have Alzarri in there, but I don't think those guys make sense to go to the World Cup if they haven't played cricket in a while. I don't really know what the injuries are. And do you really want players to be finding form, finding fitness in a major championship, right?
I mean, these are pros. These are professionals. These guys get back on it very quickly. So I
agree. I mean, but
I forgot to mention Evan Lewis. He was injured.
Evan Lewis.
He could be a factor. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of an interesting thing because he's been around for a long time too.
Johnson Charles as well.
Yeah, Johnson Charles been around.
Sammy has a headache to pick this side though.
I don't know.
I think go with experience or slightly younger players.
I wouldn't mind opening with King and Lewis just to start the tournament to see what happens.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah,
I don't mind that.
Yeah, obviously, I think Shea for sure is there. He could also open if we need him to, which is an interesting thing, right?
Exactly.
But I don't know if we want him.
A lot of our players can rotate around the batting lineup, so
yeah. You think about Rutherford, Rovman Powell. I like that. And then Jason Holder has. I think we need him to play. But then the question is, just do you play Chase sometimes because he can give you some. Can he get some turn on those pitches? You know. Yeah. Where does Ramara Shepherd fit in? I think Matthew Ford. I would like to start Ford. Yeah.
Ramara Shepherd has to play though.
Yeah.
I think he's our most destructive batter at the back end. Like,
yeah,
his hitting power is unreal. It's probably like similar to an Andre Russell.
Yeah.
Powerful. Yeah.
No, he has.
You were saying Matthew Ford?
Yeah, I like Ford a lot, but I don't know if they'll start him. You know.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, because if you have Jason, who will probably open the bowling, and then you bring back Alzarri and
you can't start Ford. Yeah.
But if they are not fit, probably Matthew will probably come in. You're right. Or Seals.
Yeah. I mean, Seals. I don't really know how much of a T20 he likes. You know, but
yeah, his T20 bowling is not the same as his ODI and Test. Yeah,
Test is different class. You know, there's the movement to. No one moves the ball laterally like him, but you know, in world cricket in general, right? You know, so yeah, whole sign obviously Akil, maybe Gudukesh Moti is there. It's hard, you know. I don't really know, you know, to be honest.
I think either way, decide that Sammy will release. People are going to be vexed. Some people are going to like it, some people are not going to like it. What is he doing? This, that. But he has won a World Cup winning captain.
Yeah. Twice too.
Yeah, 2012 and 2016, back to back.
Yeah.
Not back to back, sorry.
No, it's not back to back.
Not back to back.
England had won in the Caribbean after that. Yeah, but wait. Look, you know, the more I'm talking to you, and this might be a dangerous thing, I'm getting more optimistic than.
No, because let's look at the teams. Like, if you look at some news that some of these sides are listening, like some big news miss out in other countries as well. Like South Africa, Tristan Stubbs didn't make it. And then like, looking at
India,
England,
who didn't India bring? Pant didn't make it, right?
And I don't think Shubman Gill made the side.
No, Shubman Gill. Sorry, Gill didn't make the side. When I saw
right, so like. I think this World Cup is like up for grabs. That's why I'm so confident in the West Indies. I don't think like there's one team that you could say, they're definitely gonna win. Australia has a strong side though, but it's in India. We don't know what's gonna happen.
That's gonna be interesting. And a little bit in Sri Lanka too will get some of the games too. They're on home style. I don't know. You know, you can't count them out if you're at home. You know, that's also interesting. The thing about Australia is that they always are there, right? Like they show up. You know, they are tournament ready even when you don't think. The South Africans should be decent, but you just never know. Pakistan, I don't know what to say about Pakistan. Pakistan could show up and do something unbelievable or be the worst team in the tournament, you know?
Definitely.
Afghanistan too. I think the subcontinent teams, you're thinking about India, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, we should say something.
Could be dangerous though.
Yeah.
Because like last World Cup, they were.
Yeah. So you think they still got what's his name, Rashid Khan, and Noor Ahmed,
Faruqi, and those guys.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think you can't count those people out, but the West Indies, like India too, you know, they show up. They'll get some support too from the Indian crowd. I think.
Yeah, they love the West Indies.
People love to see the West Indies. I just hope we'll watch. And see if it works out, you know. I think we kick off we're in the group with what?
It's February 7th?
Yeah, England, West Indies, Bangladesh, Italy, and Nepal. So top 2 comes out, right? Yeah. So I think it's England and us. And I wouldn't put it past England to just do some nonsense in the first couple of matches. And if we win a couple of games there, you never know. Yeah, it could be. You know,
us comfortably at the top,
Yeah, I don't want us to play the best cricket at the start though. I want us to qualify, but kind of develop some momentum because tournament cricket is important, and if Sammy can get these guys believing, then you never know.
He will, because if you look at some of the little activities, like how even though we lose a lot, like if you look at the dressing room, how he like awards for certain things and the motivational thoughts that he gives to them, and then to back that up, if actually winning 2 tournaments and being around guys like Chris Gale, Pollard, like I think Sammy Sammy will have them right for the World Cup for sure.
Yeah.
I think they'll believe.
Yeah, no, that's probably a good way to end it. But we didn't get a lot of engagement tonight, but hopefully people, watch on the rebroadcast and stuff. But Nath, it's good to have you on. We want to make sure people coming on. Let me try to put up. I think I made a banner. See if people can make sure to subscribe to your channel. Put up a little ticker there, and yeah, what are you up to next? Are you coming out? Are you doing any some videos soon or?
Yeah, I have a video coming soon. Aaron Spencer. Remember the Grand Prix? That's a
Yeah.
workout video because he's running for Baylor University this season. So yeah, that should be a video coming out shortly, and then school sports as well in Barbados.
Right.
So like BSAT, NAPSAT, and then Carifta. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Who are you guys hosting Carifta? Or who's hosting?
No,
Grenada.
Grenada, yeah.
Grenada, yeah.
We're looking to host it in 2028 if like the stadium is
ready.
Started already, yeah.
Are you guys rebuilding the stadium or what are you guys doing?
Yeah, the stadium, I think phase 1 would have started in September 2025. And so like the old stadium has been knocked down for a while now. And like they're rebuilding with the bleachers and all that stuff. So it's actually like progressing. And then we're getting some tracks around the island. So the north, the south, and east. So there are gonna be various tracks around the island. So
things are looking up. Is spending some money there.
Yeah, it was 30 million in sports. Not this track, so like volleyball, everything.
Right. No, it's good. I mean, I always say, Barbados is one of the great sporting nations, and certainly in cricket. I can't just. You could name a Barbadian 11 that could probably beat any side in the world all the time. True. It's just like it's punch above your weight a lot, in all the sports. So it's good to see that you guys are doing some infrastructure development. How big is the new stadium going to be?
And you mean in terms of
the size?
I don't quote me on this, but I think it was like 10,000. I think it's like in certain phases, but I'm more sure it was 10,000. But we'll have to go and check that out again. But I think it's 10,000 in the beginning stages. Could be wrong. Or like it goes up to 10,000 at a certain stage.
Brand new running track and everything. So it's gonna be a full capacity stadium.
Yeah. So be able to host Carifta and any regional meets probably.
Right. Yeah. You guys had that Barbados Grand Prix last year. Yeah, and more. Hopefully more and more meets come in the Caribbean too. And yeah. We'll talk some more, but. It's good to hang out with you. We'll do this again soon. Hopefully, maybe we could do a video again or come live at another time. But it's been my pleasure, Nate. Shout out to your channel for sure. And we got it scrolling there. Make sure you subscribe to Nate's channel because he's trying to build up stuff on YouTube. What's your Instagram again? And because
Nate Sport, it's the same as the banner. Nate Sports on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Cool. All right.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, as usual, we'll touch base soon, and you take care. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.